Any guesses? Tell me what we're making today.
I'm going to show you how to make the perfect pillow.
Care to explain? What's a perfect pillow?
I'm going to explain. Well, let's talk a little bit about the backs here. This pillow is made out of linen, and this is the fusible woven. This was before we had the black, but it gives the linen a really nice body. And I didn't have very much, and I had just enough to sneak this overlap in. And you can see it's a single layer here, and then a rolled hem here. And it just sits like this. When you do this type, you've got to make sure you give it enough fabric so when people are sitting on it, it doesn't do this. Cheap ones do this.
And their innards fall out.
Yeah, and the pillow gets dirty inside. So there's something like that. This one is quilted, so it's just like a quilt. It's got a back, a batting, and the front. And then it was free motion quilted in a fairly big stipple. And it's got some 3D flowers on it, which is in one of the patterns we're going to demo later down the road. And then it's the edge is bound, and then it's tucked. If I was redoing this one, I wouldn't put binding on this edge. It just makes it bulky inside. But you know, I was following someone's directions. I'll do that for the first time. Then there's this one with the covered zipper. Round edges, piping. This, of course, is a Kimberbell one. Then I'm going to use this one as an example, but it's a bit of the what not to do. See these?
Pokey ear corners.
Yeah. So lots of groups tell you you can push them in, you can pinch them off, you can stuff them with some polyfill or something in the corners to fix. Or we could just make a perfect pillow to start with. The white ones are done that way, so they don't have those big ears. They still look square, but they don't have big ears. And this orange one is a flange. So you see, it's like two finished things sewn together. This one is, I think this is out of Terry Atkinson's new book. It was part of a different club a few years ago, but it's in her new book now. Let me see.
That's fun.
And it's finished by laying the front and the back and putting a binding on it. And then you can see this is a really full pillow, and this is not, in my opinion, enough here. But still a pretty pillow. And it was just a different way of making it. These are slightly different in the back. These are on white denim, and I had just enough denim, I thought, to make two pillows. And so, from a teaching standpoint, this is the zipper we teach in our new owners class. Center lap zipper. Just for a little extra, if it's got double top stitching on it. And the zipper goes from top to bottom, like a dress zipper, because there's the front of the pillow. So there's my squirrels.
It's handsome.
And then this one I actually had to piece this section because that was all the fabric I had left. When I was done, there was nothing but white thread left on the table. I had made everything I was going to make out of it. So this is that lapped zipper. I'm going to show you how to make it. So that's kind of it's an advancement on what we learned with the little bags. It's going to be super easy. These are two, in my opinion, really ugly little pillows. They are 10 inches, I believe. Give or take, yeah. They were given to me. They're the right size for these two little chairs I have, but they're wrong colors. And they have, let's just check these out.
Refreshing your decorative pillows is an easy way to freshen up your house too.
Yeah, because these are weird and ugly. Not something I want in my house. But the pillow form is quite lovely. But you can see they do have an overlap. They have a nice big chunk here. A couple inches at least, I think. Almost 3, yeah. And then this overlaps by about 3.5 inches and then just has a single hem on that edge. So, not my favorite. So, I'm going to cover them. I'm going to recover those with these. That's the upside on that one.
So this design was out of your
Luminaire. It's one of the Redwork designs. And another squirrel.
Free range pets.
Free range pets. Butterflies and squirrels. These could just be out of fabric, but I wanted plain pillows with an embroidery. 10-inch pillow form means I'm going to embroider this. Cut it down to 10 inches.
So 10-inch pillow form, and we're cutting down to 10 inches.
Exactly 10 inches, which doesn't suit anyone's idea of what we should be doing. So, got the fronts of the pillows. And then, so what I've done here, this was just a Kona Natural, which I just love, like I told you in another video. And I put the OESD Fuse and Fleece on the back, and that's on the back of that white denim. It's on the back of almost everything I do, except for on the linen I put interfacing, because I wanted that crisp interfacing feel for the linen.
That makes sense.
Then I've used heavy cutaway as a stabilizer in the hoop, and I'm leaving that in the entire width. Trimmed these to 10 inches. That's the fronts. Then what I did was I took a 11-inch piece of the Kona Natural, and for the back, roll out about 11 inches of this. I think that's what I had. 12, I think I might. Don't be too skimpy. A little bigger than double the back. So the back is going to be 10 inches, but I need some seam allowance for the zipper. So 12 by 10. So I'm going to trim this down now to the size that the Fuse and Fleece is, which is that 10 inch. And we're going to just roll on down to the sewing machine, and we're going to do a zipper. This is the 10 by 12 piece. On the 10-inch side, I'm going to apply the zipper. And I have a nice big one, but it's a lot too big. It's a 20-inch zipper, but that's okay. Remember, I'm going to save that tail for later. I'm going to put the zipper face down onto that pillow edge. I'm going to take the metal stop and push it past the end here. I'm just going to stitch it down. I want to edge finish this. And I brought my teeny 20 for this. So that's the 5mm 20 foot. Yep, I'm using it on a 9mm machine.
I'm just skinnies up the stitch for you.
But I'm using that stitch that I like. I'm going to slim it down a bit. Move it all the way to the right. So we just do that because it makes me really happy. What I'm going to do here is just pull the zipper away. And I'm going to top stitch really close to the edge of the zipper. But I can't use my finger today because that bending motion hurts. So today I'm just going to use the stiletto.
There's tools.
Yeah, there's ways around almost everything you do. So now I've got lovely top stitched edge. Then I'm going to show you how to do this lip. Woohoo! But first, so this is all in one right now, and I'm not making a bag, so we're not looping it over. We're going to go cut this down. You can cut it off in the beginning and just have a... Remember, this is 10 inches, so I need a 5-inch half a back, but I'm going to measure the 5-inch from the zipper. It doesn't really matter. It could be 5 inches from the edge of this fabric. It doesn't. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. So we're going to take this chunk and we're going to just line it up with the edge of the little piece that we put on earlier. Yep. And look, I brought pins. And in case pins weren't your friends today, I can clip these on. And I'm just going to put a pin here till I get to the machine, because I've laid that down and it's straight here. So this is just to help hold it in place till I get back to the iron. It's not pinned in. Pinning it in distorts it and then makes it hard to sew nicely. If for any reason this head is going to be in your way, getting caught on your foot, and it is, this is pinned down. You can open this. Can open it all the way, part of the way, just get it out of the way. Then I'm going to move my needle all the way to the left again, so I have the same stitch as earlier. So this time I'm sewing from the fabric side. Last time I sewed from the zipper side. Doing the thing that makes me happy. Fussy. Okay, we're going to the ironing. So
top stitch side?
Yeah, just like we did on the bags. Everybody knows how to do that now, and they're thrilled because it's easy. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring this side down. Give it a quick press flat. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up. And for measurement, you guys, all I used was the zipper tape. So I just put that fold to the zipper tape there and the zipper tape here. and gave that a good press. Just to hold this till I get back to the sewing machine, just putting a pin in place. And then what we're going to do, we're going to top stitch over here, you guys, with this big lip in place.
That actually looks ridiculously easy.
It is. It's super. Once you know how, it's so easy. All right. So this zipper again might be in the way. So I'm just going to pin the zipper tab so the seam
Pull.
allowance, this part,
Oh, right.
the zipper seam allowance. Then I'm going to get that out of the way. And we can open it all the way now. So it's super easy to work on this side. And I'm going this time all the way to the left, and I'm going to use the zipper that I can't see, but I'm going to push up against the teeth, which I can feel. The teeth are under here, and they are sewn on to that original bit, right, that we finished. So it's not really going to move. And I'm just, maybe you can see in the shadow there, if I'm pushing, you can see the teeth by feeling them. There's just a faint little shadow there where I've creased it with my nail up against the teeth. That's where I'm putting the foot. If you feel you must pin more or do something else for security, by all means do it. If you feel like things are going to go sliding all over the neighborhood, pin them or use that two-sided tape we told you about last time.
You could use your slide-on table seam guide if you have one for your Bernina.
So you can see this is loose here, but it's been stitched all the way through here.
Nice.
Right? Super nice. So then we have a lovely back. This should be bigger than 10. Magic! So take the front, that back there, please. So this is a little bigger. Be generous the first time around, you guys. You don't want to run out. I think that one I went, the first one was 15 maybe, that strip, 10 by 15. That might be safer for you guys to start with, because it depends on how big you make this flap, because it eats up almost 2 inches.
Yeah.
So you need 12 minimum. 13, 14, 15 gives you some extra you can see here. So then you have to decide which way this is on the back of your pillow. Up, down, left, right. I'm going to go with this is the bottom and this is the top. And then I've got the zipper open under here, and I have it pinned closed where it would have been before.
Could you do a bar tack here at this point?
Yep, if you want to.
That would make me happier.
If you want to baste it.
Yeah, I would be happier with that basted shut.
Yeah. You could trim this now, or you can just lay this down and use the front, which is already trimmed. So we've got it. We're going to just trim all that off extra. We don't need that. Perfect. So now we've got that 10-inch square, but I can tell you it's going to end up with those big old ears. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to show you what I would do next. I'm going to find the middle, which is 5 inches here. All the way around. I'm going to sew the finished pillow together with a 1/4-inch seam allowance. So that would be here in the corner. right? If I was doing 1/4 inch seam allowance, except I'm going to take it about a 1/4 inch lower. So this will be 1/4 inch here, and I'm going to take another 1/4 inch off. So if it makes you happier, you can go into the corner here and put a dot at the 1/2 inch. You can put a mark here at the 1/4 inch. And then you're going to angle that out. So a quick way of doing this is you take that corner and take a 1/2 inch off the ruler, and you can go like this. So you know that that's the corner. And you can put this down here at 1/4 inch, angle that over to that 1/2 inch.
We don't have a square anymore, Anne.
No,
We have an octagon.
pretty much. And we're going to have a much better looking pillow, interestingly enough.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a 10-inch pillow or a 20-inch pillow. This is what you're going to do. And you'll angle that the whole way across, from the center to the corner. So yeah, you're almost getting a snowball here.
Yep.
And that's my top, putting them down. You can use pins or clips, whatever makes you happy. As few or as many as you need.
The zipper on your back is open right now.
Yeah, make sure
just
it's
part way.
open them.
Otherwise, you're going to have a dreadful time in a couple minutes.
But I can tell you how to get it open. If it goes terribly wrong, I can get it open. It's all in how the zipper works. And if you know how the zipper works, you can figure out how to get it open when you sewed it shut. Okay. Doesn't matter where you start.
Whatever makes you happy.
And if I had a 1/4 inch foot on, I would start with it here, but it changes rapidly, so. So it's important to get a 90-degree point still in the corner. We're not sewing round. So now we're coming up to that zipper, so we're going to just slow down, take it easy. We'll be able to get over the teeth. I've put the metal stops well beyond, so I'm not going to stitch into them. But every now and then I have broken the needle on these teeth. So I don't back and forth, I just overlapped here 1.5 inches. Back and forth tends to leave bumps and it damages the project. Just gonna trim this excess off. Gonna trim off that extra zipper end. I'm very excited about having that much end left for something else. And there we've got that sort of octagon. And then we've got this. Nope, and never trims outer corners. Oh.
Gail's wondering if you'll honeycomb the edge to finish the inside.
No. You could in here, but this isn't going to get washed like a bag.
Yeah.
I just like it here because there's action here.
And then you don't get thread bits hanging in your zipper.
Yeah, like there's a lot of ends kind of hanging out here. But you could absolutely go around here. And you could even trim it down to 1/4 inch all the way around if you wish. But I want to be able, I tend to not to as a teacher, just to prove the point when I open them up. People go, they believe it's sewn square and it's not. So, but a good question. You can absolutely, especially if you got a fabric that frays a lot. So I'm going to stick my thumb into the corner here. I'm going to use I'm right hand dominant, so I use my left hand. I get my thumb in there and I use it to fold the seam allowance back and the seam allowance back. And then I've formed a corner, which is the outside now, but I flip it to the inside. I'm losing my grip. I'll do all 4 of them. So thumb into the corner, form that nice pointy corner with the seam allowances. Push it off your thumb onto your fingertip. I just go and do all the corners at once. I think, and then I'll show you what to do if it doesn't pop the way it should. And now I can actually reach in here and open that all the way. Give us a little more opening. This is a water-soluble marker. And as you can see, I had basting in this one. I had basting in this one, but I've removed it already. And this water-soluble marker just needs a wet Q-tip or a good spritz with water and it'll go away.
Oh, a pillow the right size fits much better in that pillow
Right?
case.
Get in there and get the little T. What happens is when you see that end, it doesn't have those great big long rabbit ears. And the optical illusion is it's more square than it was before.
It's awesome.
So there you go. Now I have cute new pillows for my living room. For my little chairs. When you put pressure on this, there's none of that weird gapping. And you could use hideous colored zippers. No one's ever going to see them. So if you don't have a zipper that matches, and this doesn't match the fabric at all, but it did match the color of the thread I used. So interestingly enough, that made me happy. I didn't like the color of the zipper. That was the closest match to the fabric. So I picked one that matched the thread instead. If you want to, when you make this zipper, if you don't want to lose the teeth way down into the corner.
Which pillow was it?
It's on this one. It's hard to see the white on white, but if I put my finger in there, you can kind of see there's stitching here. So I just sewed a box around here so that you didn't lose the head way up here.
That makes sense.
So, ta-da.
Ta-da!
It's so cute. I love it. This might be a 12, but it doesn't really measure out. If you're not sure, measure them out, and whatever the measurement is from seam to seam, that's what you cut your fabric. So that seems wrong, I know. But a 16-inch pillow or 18-inch pillow, say, let's go 18-inch. You cut the squares 18 inches, so you could use American fat quarters. If you have Canadian fat quarter should have 20 inches. You could cut into square, and you cut them that way and then sew them. And it gives you this super over plump fullness, and they just look better, feel better, they hang out better. And then when you do that corner thing, they don't do rabbit ears.
Yay!
All right, you guys, be calm, be kind, be safe.